thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Take a listen. You all look like monkeys, black idiots. Those allegedly are the words of a man serving as the managing director on Ocean Key in Bimini. We hear from what's reportedly happened involving Bahamian workers. A foreign visitor damages government property, is taken into custody, and that is where the controversy begins. Tonight, many Bahamians are asking, would the response have looked the same if the suspect was one of us? Meanwhile, the Commissioner of Prisons, Don Clare, may have put his foot in his mouth with comments made yesterday. Women's groups are up in arms. Even the Minister of National Security, Miles LaRota, is speaking out against his comments. But are they all overreacting? We get into that as well this evening. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. With scathing allegations coming from Ocean Key this evening, Bahamians are claiming that they are being victimized, disrespected, and walking on eggshells, all at the hands, allegedly, of the Dutch managing director. Now, joining me this evening is talk show host Adrian Francis. Adrian, you have been following this story now. In fact, you've been ahead of it. I just got wind of it earlier today, but you've been following this story now for several days coming out of Ocean Key on Bimini. Those words are quite damning. What have workers told you?
You would indicated idiots. I read the same thing that you would have read, where it was said that in
fact, I spoke with several employees, one of whom is on Zoom right now, who was fired, I think, just last week. Let's just hear his story very, very quickly. Ray Knowles, good evening to you. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines. It's great to have you here. I understand you've been at Ocean Key in Bimini at the setup there really since the beginning, and in fact, you were a manager. What happened?
Good night. I just got a call on Tuesday evening on the 26th that I would be terminated and for no cause. And that was it. I know prior to that we had a meeting about 4 to 5 weeks ago about me communicating with Mr. Stephen, who's in Geneva, the landscaping designer, consultant, who we always spoke with for the past 5 years. Every 2 weeks, we have monthly meetings with him.
And so you were doing what you thought was the right thing. You've been in communication with this gentleman in you said Switzerland?
In Geneva.
In Geneva, yes, in Switzerland. And so he is the basically sort of oversees the
whole property
the aesthetic of the property. You are a manager of landscaping there at Ocean Key. So, of course, you said every 2 weeks or certainly every month, you all would have meetings as to how things are going, how the grounds are looking, and what's needed on the ground. Yes, ma'am. You were fired for communicating with this gentleman, you say, allegedly?
For communicating.
And
it still hasn't been no proper termination because every document was wrong, all the information was wrong on the hiring date. I still haven't been sorted out as yet.
We heard
now from the 26th.
From the 26th of May.
Yes, ma'am.
So you've been in limbo and basically jobless since May 26th.
Yes, ma'am.
I know that the Department of Labor, and I tried to reach out to the Department of Labor. I understand that the director is out of country. I brought late this evening the matter to the Minister of Labor's attention. I didn't get a response because it happened quite late, after 7, in fact, and I will follow up with her. But what I said at the top of the show in terms of how you all have been treated, how you've been spoken to, how you're walking on eggshells, you feel like you're on the plantation. Were those that was told to me by other employees? Can you attest to that?
Don't say nothing. And as soon as you go on break, you're going on your regular rotation, you're terminated. And you told me not to even come back because I still have property on key. I don't know. Don't
Adrian,
communicate with nobody. You make friendships. You have friendship. Work for people work with co-workers for over 5-6 years.
so
Okay,
you
you
so
don't
so you're not to have any kind of small talk or conversation with any coworker, and certainly the senior executive you've been in touch with all this time, you were told to listen, cut that relationship and cut it loose, and just I guess adhere to what this gentleman is saying.
Yeah.
What is the mood like on Ocean Key, and how many Bahamians, if you can say, are now employed there? But what is the mood there on Ocean Key?
The mood is not very good. Not good. Not good. We are as about 200 plus employees, Bahamian employees.
Okay, here's a note that came from, again, a group of employees. We, the team on Ocean Key, are tired of the mistreatment and living conditions, staff sharing 4 to 1 bathroom in order to shower. Some of us waiting until the ship departs to have a bath in the outside showers. This sounds like pig and pens to me. We are walking on eggshells because we don't know our fate when we will be sent home. Because if you don't agree with this gentleman, I cannot pronounce his name, you can and will be terminated at any time and just let go without cause. He is terminating Bahamians who started with the company from day one to bring in other persons who worked alongside him from Norman's Key. We would like to be unionized so that our cries can be heard. Finally, we had to go to higher-ups for our voices to be heard, making jokes such as a bunch of black monkeys looking for bananas in trees, that Bahamians are incompetent to take on leadership roles. This reportedly and allegedly is what the managing director says to the Bahamian employees at Ocean Key. They have positions that are meant for Bahamians, and bringing in expats to take over, such as retail managers, inventory managers, positions Bahamians can well perform in, which once was a place of happiness, now is being destroyed by persons they hire to lead Ocean Key. We are asking the government to hear our cries. That is from a group, Adrian, of Ocean Key employees who are very just discouraged tonight, are feeling put out, are feeling less than, are feeling, quite frankly, like slaves on the plantation tonight in the Bahamas.
Let me just say that, first of all, Ocean Key has been a friend to the Bahamas for a long time. MSC, who runs Ocean Key, has been a friend to the Bahamas for a very long time. They are quality partners of our country. So let me just put that out there. Ocean Key is also, the president of Ocean Key is a Bahamian, Van Jones, is in Grand Bahama. I'm the vice president. Nakira,
I wonder if he's aware of this.
He's become aware of all of this. And one of the things that I'd like to share is that the Bahamas is tourism. These young men and women who run Ocean Key, the leaders of Ocean Key, these are Bahamians. No one teaches tourism. We are tourism. We are what tourism is. And for the most part, what is being imported is being taught to persons based on the fact that we are who we are. And so MSC, like I said, have made a valuable contribution to our country. This is a situation they must get ahead of very, very quickly. I spoke to 1 or 2 persons in our country, in our leadership today, who they were aghast at the situation, and they're hoping that effectively, immediately, this is dealt with. I understand that a stunt operation was taking place at Ocean Key last week, where the Department of Labor, the Department of Immigration, and also NIB went in. They interviewed over 30 plus employees, according to my sources. And after interviewing them, a damning report was actually done by the Department of Labor. And from what I
Suggesting what?
suggesting that this man be removed.
Well, get the man out. That's been last week.
Yeah,
Harrison Thompson. What is his name?
Howard Thompson.
Howard Thompson, Director of Labor. Get him out. He has no role to play here in the Bahamas,
No, you can't call
at
Bahamians
Ocean
monkey. You
Key
can't
or
call Bahamians
Norman's
monkey.
Key or any other key. Get him out.
Yeah, and I understand, man, that immigration has had an issue with this gentleman. I'm understanding that.
Yes, they're big because
enormously.
I on the show I featured Bahamians before who were aggrieved and treated poorly, less than on another key where they had to eat in squalid conditions. And you heard this lady, 4 of them have to use 1 shower, or the others have to wait until
That's
the cruise
crazy.
ship
That's
leaves,
crazy.
allegedly, for them to go
That's
and shower in the
that's
open.
intolerable.
It is. It absolutely is. And so the thing is, someone like this has no place. Yes, we know the Bahamas is made up many times of a whole lot of different people from, particularly on these keys, from anywhere in the world. But this gentleman has no place here. That's
Well,
right.
I'll say the governor of the Bahamas is ahead of this. The leadership is ahead of it. I know the Department of Labor, the Minister of Labor, Pia Glover-Roll, is she's at the ILO conference in Geneva.
Ah, okay.
Along
okay.
with Howard Thompson.
Yes.
They are at that conference. I was talking to several cabinet
Yeah, well, don't
ministers.
wait. It's, I'm sure other, listen, where Faki is. Get this man, lift this man up by the seat of his pants and get him out. Put him to an airport and let him go where he got to go. He has no business here.
You can't
Look at
monkey.
this gentleman, and calling people monkey. This gentleman here, Reynolds, a manager in charge of the grounds and landscaping
6
at
years.
Ocean Key. For how many years?
6 years.
And was fired because he is in communication with one of the senior executive managers in Geneva. How stupid is that?
It's crazy.
This man got a complex, eh?
You might be a monkey. You got to be careful that you call the people monkey. These are good-looking monkeys in the Bahamas.
I mean, they don't even joke with it. There's no monkeys here in the Bahamas.
This is ridiculous. How do you come to this? But I'm also happy that there are some major the Prime Minister made it clear in terms of the labor restrictions that's now in place, where you're going to have to really qualify for some of these positions, and the harm is about to be dropped in the country for persons who are importing skills that are already here in our country. And so I don't believe that. I think he's going to be made an example of for all the other persons who come into this country believing that it's a game. This is no longer a game.
It is not a
Don't
game,
come
and
here
we
and
Bahamians
you
have
talk
got
about-
to put our foot down, and this is why Bahamians, I'll tell you, to step up to the plate when there are opportunities available. Make yourself, show your interest. Let them turn you down, and then you go seek out to why. But again, show up very convincingly. It's very important. Ray, we will see what else is going on. Adrian, I know you wanted to wrap this up.
Let me just say very quickly, my Van Jones, Nakira Simonet.
I think I may know Nakira.
Anna Albrecht, and also we have a young lady who's in the executive at Ocean Key, Kamisha Cox, one of our old Olympian. She's now back in the Bahamas. She a sprinter out of Aquinas, but out of Star Trackers Club. She's now one of the HR executives. We have persons qualified who could help run
So
any
you're
aspect of
saying
tourism in our
any
country.
one of the names you mentioned
Yes, ma'am.
outside of the president
we have
himself,
superstars in this
you
country.
were saying
ma'am.
that they can be managing director of Ocean Key
Listen,
and have greater respect for Bahamians, treat them well, train them, and ensure that the work
They
gets
need to
done.
have access to whoever's coming in to our country in any kind of way, because for this key to be run effectively. Thank you, MSC, for being partners with us.
Yeah, MSC is also in Grand Bahama, aren't they?
MSC's in Grand Bahama, they're part of the hotel league.
Right, well, sounds very good there, but I'll certainly, of course, I know they will be looking very closely at what's taking shape at Ocean Key.
It's already reached there.
Okay, very good. I thank you very much, Ray Knowles, for being here. Hopefully your matter gets resolved, because it sounds as though you were fired without cause for something petty and real stupid. Speaking of monkeys, because that's something like monkeys will do. You know what I mean?
Oh,
but I thank you very much, Ray Knowles, for being here. Adrian Francis, as usual, good seeing you. And thank you, because I know you've been following this and speaking with the workers and everything. Thank you for obviously expanding that issue here on this show this evening. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. And I want to say, of course, again to them, we will continue to follow this and bring you all any information that we have that becomes available to us as we continue to follow this issue on Ocean Key. Beyond the Headlines is back right after this.
Hey, it's your boy Charlie Bahama here at Superwash, Superwash's newest spokesmodel, and I'm here to tell you about Superwash's large capacity washers and dryers for all your big loads.
I know I see that Charlie Banana coming here just now.
Luckily, it's also big enough for me to hide it.
I thought he was right over here where these large capacity washer and dryers is. It's big enough now to handle your big loads, you know. Yeah, like your comfort on your blanket. But just look at that. Somebody forget to turn on the dryer.
Stop!
Help! You hear something? Yeah, that's the sound of clean. Superwash washes you, processes you, and entertains you 24/7.
A lot of people know CBS Bahamas and the CBS Pro Store thanks to our beautiful retail stores. But what you may not know is contractors love shopping here as well. Whether you need a flat rack of shingles, a truckload of drywall, or a pallet of joint compound, we can make it happen with unbeatable pricing, fast turnaround times, and excellent communication. That's why contractors love shopping with CBS Bahamas. Learn more at cbsbahamas.com.
Wendy's and Coca-Cola want to take you and your bestie to New Orleans. July 3rd through 5th is Essence Fest, and you could be traveling VIP style. All you gotta do is upgrade any premium lunch combo 1 through 12 or a salad to a large, like a spicy number 6, add cheese and bacon, or my personal favorite, tendies. Nola! We coming back?
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
A dramatic encounter involving police and a group of visitors has ignited a national debate, with questions now being raised about fairness, accountability, and whether the rules apply equally to everyone. Tonight, the Commissioner of Police is speaking out. We all saw the barefoot bandit play out in front of our eyes, right? Okay. Well, here's Jose Etienne with the story.
A violent clash between police officers and 5 American tourists in downtown Nassau on Monday is reigniting debate over whether foreign visitors are treated differently when they run afoul of the law in the Bahamas. Social media lit up in the hours following the incident, with some residents questioning whether the suspects would have received the same treatment had they been Bahamian. The comments reviving a debate that first gained national attention last year after the arrest of an American woman inside a Nassau police station sparked questions about how foreign nationals are handled in custody. But Police Commissioner Shanta Knowles insists that there is no double standard.
This Commissioner of Police do not encourage double standards in dealing with anyone who offends the law. I don't think any commissioner before me has done so, and I certainly will not sit here in this position and allow that.
As it relates to Monday's incident, the commissioner is defending the actions of the officers involved, saying they acted professionally despite several of them being injured during the confrontation.
I want to thank my officers for being brave enough to see an incident that could have turned out even worse than it did at our cruise port, for stepping in and trying to stop that situation from escalating further, taking them into custody, and now they're being processed.
Knowles says what began as a routine arrest quickly escalated into a physical struggle.
The officer intervened in that situation, and while doing so, he was attacked by the tourist. He called for assistance, and when assistance came to him, the other officers also met a challenge where other tourists came in and attacked the officers.
The aftermath of that struggle remains visible at the tourism police station, where a glass door was shattered during the disturbance. Police allege one of the female suspects threw a chair through the glass while in custody. Meanwhile, video circulating on social media appears to show a male suspect kicking out the remaining glass as he attempted to escape the station. The man is then seen outside the building before turning back toward the entrance. Police believe he was attempting to encourage others to follow, before officers intervened and took him back into custody. Knowles says all 5 suspects are expected to face a series of charges, including assaulting a police officer, fighting in a public place, resisting arrest, malicious damage, and disorderly behavior in a police station. And for those visiting the Bahamas, the commissioner delivered a clear message.
We appreciate the tourists that come here, and that is what we want. We want tourists to come here, but we also want them to know that while they're having fun in our country, there are laws. Our officers will not stand by and allow anyone to break the law within their view.
Jose Etienne, Eyewitness News.
Okay, well, wow. I mean, we're used to seeing tourists behaving badly. I mean, anybody can behave badly if they maybe had something to drink or emotions run high. That's not the point here. The point is, let's talk about that right there. I saw one cuff swinging in the wind. I don't know if this person was handcuffed or not. Why weren't they? Then the fact that you attacked the police officers and they called for help. I see why Bahamians are sometimes very angry, because it does appear to be double standards. There is no way that individual can come there, damage an entire state property, go and throw a chair at a glass door, it shatters, and he kicks it out, and then runs through it, and the police seem to so politely kind of try and just, let's just get him in control. I want to ask my panelists what they feel, how they think, what are they seeing online, what are their thoughts about how this all played out. Welcome to be on the headlines. Peggy Candice, Gabrielle McKenzie, Aeneas, great ladies to have you both here. Good evening to you. Let's talk, ladies. And I mean, let's talk candidly. Your thoughts about how that played out and what we heard.
Good evening, Shanique, and good evening, Bahamas. I'm back again. Did y'all miss me? It
Not quite.
is, girl, you missed me, girl. It is so interesting that in a situation like this, the police were not in fear for their lives. It seems like every other situation we've seen played out with locals, the police have been, and I quote, in fear for their lives, and they reach for their guns. But someone broke an entire glass, picked up a chair, threw it through your glass. And literally, it seems to be a squabble, like you have said, because one captive had one handcuff swinging in the wind and is escaping the police station, and no way, glass everywhere. You're not in fear for your life.
No, but you're forgetting the part where they seem to have had a tussle within the station before this part took place, and it spilled outside.
Again, and at no point in time, you were in fear for your life. I guess the hue was right.
That's what you think it is, Peggy, that they were white?
No, I'm not here to make a mockery or speculate about the incident. Don't have enough information from my observation, but I want to point out something that the Commissioner of Police said in a very responsible way, that tourism, now we could want to say, oh, they ain't in fear for their life and they ain't touched their gun. And remember, there would be consequences. And so I prefer to wait until further additional information, because I don't know the outcome. I mean, were they detained? The U.S. consulate reached out. Is a far greater consequences that we can face as a nation. And so I think we all need to just calm down and be more responsible.
Well, being responsible also requires that we see the same treatment being meted out to everyone who is afoul of the law. That is what being responsible is.
Well,
of course, these people who appear to be perhaps early 20s or thereabouts, they deserve their fair day in court. They all do. Anyone who has to somehow meet up against the law or have to be in the custody of the police deserve a fair chance to be heard, to be tried, whatever it is. But we are tired of seeing. We had a whole barefoot bandit come. Come here, flew a plane, kicked down a building, went and
fall asleep.
I don't know what they fall asleep someplace in the Prime Minister's office. That part is a joke. What I'm saying is, we have seen so much happen with visitors and all in the name of tourism. No, you know what tourism says? When you come here on this here soil and you commit a crime and an offense, you will have to pay. That'll make any other visitor feel more safe being here anywhere in the Bahamas, knowing that, guess what, this is a nation of rules laws, guidelines, and you better abide by it, or you think you heard about Fox Hill Prison, you will experience it firsthand. How about that? How about that's what's supposed to happen. Now, of course, we will continue to watch this. The police looked like he was shaken up a bit. I don't know that plainclothes officer right there in the video that we're looking at. But this is disgusting, and we hope to see them tried. And if they deserve jail time, let that happen. If not, then the fine must be very, very hefty because they damaged government and state property. Let that be known. And fighting with the police, resisting arrest. I wonder what those charges are for the average Bahamian.
I'm wondering if they're going to even serve any time here.
Of course not.
I'm wondering if they are going to even serve any time. Yeah, I feel like they need to pay their debt to the Bahamas and serve time here.
B-Dogs, didn't I? I said
And
B-Dogs.
they need to. No slap on the wrist.
Listen, remember when the guy who said, oh, no, I'll sit out at B-Dogs. People said, this is FTX.
Yeah.
And they said, man, he was there for a minute and see what the food was and the accommodations and say, hold up, y'all come, get me out. Let them, first of all, they will smarten up because you don't do, listen, games are for tricks, y'all. I mean, tricks are for kids and all the rest of it, whatever. But listen, let's move on to this, you all. An address made to new recruits yesterday quickly turned into a national debate. I'm sure you all have seen it all over social media, in the House of Assembly, the women's group, everything. Everyone is speaking on and they're irate. We get this story from Laurencia Smith.
I'm going to learn how to shoot.
Okay, you all know what I'm talking about. Just let me know when you all have it so I can go to it. We are talking about the Commissioner of Prisons at B-Docs, Dawn Clare, who yesterday during a graduation ceremony said something along the lines of, listen, first of all, we need more men in the armed forces, without a doubt, without question. Now, we have so many women, what we do is, if we don't give them a pass, we don't give them a sort of we don't go easy on them, a slap on the wrist. Whatever they do, they are out because there are hundreds more in line. But for the men, we have to kind of revisit that because we need more men, and so therefore we give them a second chance. Well, what he said that for? Peggy and Gabrielle, did he misspeak? Was he wrong? Was it a sexist comment? What was he doing? What is it that has everyone so angry? And whenever the story is ready, please let me know. But I'll tell you this, we had the Minister of National Security, it's ready. So before you all respond, let's hear more.
Carolina Member of Parliament Michaela Barnett Ellis is taking aim at the leadership of the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services, raising serious concerns about how both male and female recruits are being viewed. Barnett Ellis specifically is calling out Commissioner Dawn Clare.
There's possibly a double standard in the Department of Corrections in terms of discipline, and that women are held to a higher standard than men are, and not because of anything related to their gender, but because there are more women available for the job than there are men available for the job, and that is just absolutely absurd and does women a disservice and does the laws of the Bahamas a disservice because it is enshrined in our law equal standards for men and women in employment. It is illegal to discriminate against somebody.
Now here's what Claire told new recruits during a recruitment exercise at B-Docs on Monday, addressing the intake of 38 women and about 41 men.
The first one of you messed up or do wrong, I can let you go. And you know why? Because we have an abundance of you. But it is the males who I will try to massage and wash your toes and wash your feet. They try to get you in line. But if you do fool, we still can let you go.
Also joining the conversation online are viewers reacting to the comments, with some agreeing with the MP while others suggest that the commissioner remarks may have been taken out of context, like this viewer, who stated in part, if you are familiar with him, you would know he was joking if you watched the clip. However, another stated in part, after that statement, I would have walked off because I surely would not have been working under him. No more, idiot. Meanwhile, on the House floor this afternoon, National Security Minister Miles LaRota addressing the firestorm of the BDOC's commissioner's remark, responding concerns raised by the MP and the wave of public reaction. LaRota did not mince words, telling the parliament he disagreed with the comments and stressed that women continue to make a valuable contribution across the country's security forces.
Told me that his conversation was made in a jovial conversation with his recruits. I told him, notwithstanding that his position carries a lot of weight, that there are females in his institution and there are other females in any institution in the country that should not be subjected to those type of words, even if it was said in jest or just jokingly.
Laurencia Smith, Eyewitness News.
Of course, it was a poor joke. It was a poor choice of words. Really, truly, it was a poor choice of words. You know what? I'll let you all speak first, and then I'll come in. Yes, Peggy, Gabrielle.
Shanique, good evening once again. In 1991, I had the honor of being a part of the first mixed entry of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force. And I can recall that we were not treated any differently. We were held to the same standard of training. We received the same punishment, the same command. We jumped in black water together. We did entire training as a unit. There were 12 females and 6 males. And so unless the standard has changed, I'm surprised of the comment, even though I understood its implications. It was in poor taste. I think the greatest part of the message that I'm walking away with, that there are a shortage of men who are interested or qualified to join the armed forces. And that is a greater concern to me as a patriotic Bahamian who serve our country. And so we have to look at how do we now make young Bahamian men interested in serving in these capacity, whether it be defense force, police force, or the prison, immigration. And I think that is the biggest concern for me, and that is the issue that this government must look at. How do we attract more qualified, patriotic men of integrity to serve our nation?
If you meant that there was a shortage of men in these roles and they were needed, that is exactly what you should have said. But do not devalue the contributions that women are bringing to this society. Women have to work 10 times as hard, having just overcome, only about 65 years ago, the discrimination of not being able to even have a bank account without a man. To see how far they have come, and then to say, oh, if you slip up, you don't make a misstep, because I'm massaging the men because there's plenty of y'all around here. While they are putting in double time, is unacceptable. I don't care what you meant about it, because women are really working. It's not our fault that the men decided to be lackluster. It's not our fault that they aren't stepping up in the leadership roles that God has called them to be in. Whose fault is that? Women have been bringing life into this world for a long time. We have constantly been saying that men are the leaders, they are the future, they are the this, they are the that. But until they believe that themselves and step forward in these roles, there is nothing that we can do. They have to believe that. And the men, instead of chastising the women, need to say, hey, look here, buddy. Grab one man, mentor a young man, mentor him, pull him up, get them away from these gangs. One time ago, there was youth against violence was a big thing that Carlos Reed did. Who's picking up the slack? It can't just be one man. Who is reaching out to these young men to say, hey, we need you. Get out of these gangs. Get back in the roles you need to be in. So that comment to me didn't go over well. I don't care what you meant. It did not go over well. Women are doing the jobs. They're stepping up in the roles, including in the home, that men have abandoned. So do not take it for granted, the sacrifices they are making, and get on top of these men who want to play with their lives.
He absolutely, and anyone should get on top of men who want to play. Well, now wait. Don't hold up. See, I know I'm talking about B-dogs.
But he say you rubbing their feet.
But yes.
And you massaging them and you rubbing their feet.
First of all, you know what I'll tell you,
That's why they
Mr.
can't
Claire,
move.
stick with the script. Just read. But we all know exactly what he meant. And women seemed all too eager to want something, the newest thing to row about. Listen, I don't think, and Peggy, I am happy to hear you say that there is no difference in the armed forces for when you show up as Joe, Jane Doe, or Joe, whomever it is, because at that time, you were just recruit number so-and-so, and you go, and I'm sure that's what he meant. Now, of course, we know the men in the Bahamas are sorely lacking. You've got to pull up your socks. You've got to go and show yourself as the leaders that you were meant to be. But women, what it is that you appear so eager and angry for example, this was said, it appears that when it comes to women in corrections, there's a double standard. Again, and I understand some people are messaging me that Don Claire did apologize. He apologized to the minister, to the nation, and to the permanent secretary, and he did so in a letter as well. This is what I am told, and so that's great to know that he did that. That he apologized. I feel as though when we try to brush away and move away from the main point that was made, this is why this nation cannot move any further along than it's moving, very slow paced. You heard what it is. So many people in certain areas, unfairly or not, are being overlooked for positions they should very well qualify for. You know why? Because they are not qualified. Many people on this very show who are business owners talk about how many Bahamians are unemployable. So we've got to stop making excuses for all of it. Yes, get the fact that this man misspoke, this man said some words and ways he shouldn't have said it, but we all have to step up to the plate. I'm sure women aren't giving an easier time, or men given an easier time than women at B-Docks, at the Royal Bahamas Police Force or Royal Bahamas Defense Force. And so the thing is, I just feel as though we are too eager to always want to just jump on the next thing and make a big man. Stop being distracted. Let this country move forward together.
Shanique, one of the things I've observed today, it appears that there's some women who just sitting on the edge of the seat, waiting for an opportunity to have an outburst, to be angry. There are opportunities, if you're an activist, there are opportunities when families are hurting. Phone, for instance, out of bed early, late at night, early in the morning, assisting families. I know a group of women that goes to court to support families when the children crimes are committed against their children and when there are sentencings. And these people with these nice scripts and these nice letterheads with these big statements, they are nowhere. They are in their comfort zone, comfortable, when the real world and the real fight is taking place. But you run out there quick with your mouth but resign. A man made a misstatement or even a stupid joke, but you want to discount his years of possible service to this country because why? You said in a place of privilege. The only service you give is that is given to you. But you want to quickly run and say, oh, resign, discounting service given. Everybody deserves an opportunity to reform.
I'll tell you, no one is diminishing at all the role that women play, even who have to lead households. We know the men are lousy for the most part, but that does not at all disqualify what he said and what it is he meant. We all understood exactly what he meant. And so again, let's come together to get this nation moving forward and get men better prepared, qualified, and able to participate around whatever table it is they choose to want to participate around. That's the key. That's the key right there. Because I'll tell you, no woman can replace a man. A man must lead. And I think in the armed forces, go there and lead. In the homes, lead. Do what you have to do. You can't keep being she-woman and we see playing out in the streets what's going on. And so the thing is, let's do it.
But in the meantime, we can't wait for them. We got to keep going.
But I'll tell you this. You can't keep going because you can't have a bunch of women hitting up and their head against one another and no man around. We need men in the mix to move this nation forward. It's as simple as that. God created the world with balance. We trying to knock that balance out so that women can go and go where and do what? No, let's go and do what we need to do.
They like each other.
Yeah, well, that's a different topic for a different night. Stay exactly where you are. Beyond the Headlines is backward after this.
wealth should not only belong to a select few. At InvestStar, we believe the door should be open to everyone. We provide options for planning a better future. Our investment funds are designed to assist you in reaching your long-term financial goals. Let us show you how.
Welcome to Paradise Premium Foods, where exceptional taste meets everyday convenience. Right in the heart of Hurricane Hole Plaza, whether you're planning a beachside brunch, an intimate dinner, or simply restocking your favorites, we offer only the finest selection of local and imported goods, handpicked for quality, freshness, and flavor. At Paradise Premium Foods, shopping is effortless, service is personal, and every visit feels like a treat. From gourmet meals to go to organic essentials and indulgent treats, this is your neighborhood market elevated. Live well, eat better. Discover Paradise Premium Foods, now open at Hurricane Hole Plaza, Paradise Island. Paradise Premium Foods. Taste the difference.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. It's good to have you all tuned in. We're going to jump right into this next segment. This is something, of course, that this show has been revisiting now for some time, because what we are doing here is helping build a nation, helping you heard what my take on the whole BDOCS matter, not excusing Dawn Claire, but saying, listen, let's move forward and move each other to a different place where we all benefit and live better quality of lives. Well, that applies as well in Exuma, Sampson Key, Black Point Exuma. Mandel Miller, you have been following, just as I have, for many months now, what's been happening there at Sampson Key and the Rosewood project. And I know that you want to focus in on the fact that Felipe McLean of the Integra Group that is bringing the Rosewood, the $200 million Rosewood at Sampson Key, that he's taken his time to endear himself to the surrounding keys, and in particular the residents of Black Point, who stand to significantly benefit from this $200 million resort.
Well, good afternoon, good night, Shanique. Good night, Bahamas. It's always a pleasure. And the reason I wanted to speak to this again tonight, Shanique, is no longer than this afternoon in preparation for the show, speaking with a resident, they were elated or almost celebrating the fact that in Exuma right now, in Black Point in particular, there's an international airport well on its way in its developing stages.
Mm-hmm.
This is not like you're saying that it's going to happen. It's happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the most exciting things for me whenever I go to Black Point, just to see this.
You've seen it?
Yes, I've seen it. And it Shanique, to see a community such as so small as Black Point reminds me of Matthewtown, where I'm from. And when persons ask Mandel, why you decided to become a voice, just because I'm from a small community and know what this level of injection can do for any community. And so being down there and seeing what's happening with the airport and all the other little spin-off businesses that are taking place, the work that Rosewood has invested in the community center in particular. Again, residents in the community are concerned about what's going on. And no longer than this evening, someone said to me, Manda, how is it possible that you have a Rosewood that would have held, I think, maybe 4 or 5 consultative town hall meetings with the community as it relates to their project. And I've been told by the town planning department that is one of the protocols in submitting an application for approval. And so persons are trying to figure out how is it that Rosewood's neighboring project that has been submitting these environmental concerns about them have not held the same town hall meetings to sort of get the buy-in from the community. If not buy-in, at least explain to the community. If not explain to the community, then submit themselves to the relevant authorities and procedures. This afternoon, however, a resident said, they've been made to understand that not only are these people being provided with exemptions through our Hotels Encouragement Act, but they're now asking to be exempted from the process that's required.
You mean from the public consultation that Rosewood has done, meaning the town hall meetings and whatnot?
So I want you to listen to this. A developer must submit an application to the relevant planning authorities that includes a site plan, architectural drawings, engineering drawings, infrastructure plans for water, sewage, roads, utilities, environmental information, and all of the above must be submitted to the Department of Town Planning. That's in light of you having any heads of agreement or anything of that nature. That is separate and apart from the application that every developer must make to the town planning department in order to start construction before construction has started. These guys have put some $20 million worth of construction on the ground in the Exumas without any proper approval from the government. And persons are concerned. I have international investors who are concerned, asking me, Mandel, what is the right process or what is the right procedure? Because if these guys got to go through the town planning meetings, and these guys seemingly hasn't, what is the right procedure? Right. So it's causing persons to be concerned about the state of investment as it relates to what's happening with these projects. When in fact, I'm of the opinion, based on my own research and an investigation, that we simply have one project that opted to do its own thing and one project that decided that, you know what, based on Bahamian law, this is what is required and I will follow the law.
But where is that project? Where is Rosewood? Because I've been following now for several months since last year. And I've seen on the show with Felipe and obviously speaking with residents of all the keys, what's been done, the excitement, the anticipation of many people. What's been done? Where is Rosewood? What is happening? I know the last time we spoke, 53 people were fired from Turtle Grass project. So what is happening as far as
the
last
communication that I had with any of the Rosewood personnel and just trying to find out for the community what's happening, I was told that they had received what they called preliminary approval to do things like testing, site plans and stuff like that. You would see where once you would have finished your consultative process, which is your town planning meetings, that every developer is mandated by Bahamian law
to host.
Once you're done with that and the Department of Planning makes a decision, you are then required by law to undergo another step in the process, which is to submit your applications for site plans, how you intend to manage your waste and water and all of these different things. And that's where they are right now, from what I've been made to understand, in their doing their preliminary works as the court makes the further decisions as to the way forward for them in relation to what's happening with their neighbors. A lot of people don't understand that this is not a situation between the developer and the government per se. This is a situation between two neighboring parties that's playing out in the court, and seemingly one party doesn't even have the necessary compliance and have followed the necessary rules to be complaining in the first place. And so I believe Rosewood has been very patient. I wish them the most patience, because to have I spoke with a gentleman this afternoon asking him, how does a project like Rosewood or any other project of that magnitude, $200 million in a community such as Black Point, Staniel Key, in those surrounding keys, is major. If it don't happen now, they bring it to Machu Town in Nagu, we got 200,000 flamingos. We'll take it. But this kind of development in our family islands is major. There's a gentleman by the name of Mr. Alan Smith and Alan Marine, who's a local in the Black Point community as a developer, who has been there for decades now, putting in infrastructure for resort development, for marinas, and has a lot of work invested in the ground. So when a project like a Rosewood were to take off, they in turn bring investors in the area and investor confidence into the area that will assist local Bahamians with capital to help us to execute our visions and plans as a people. And this is what we now need. When I go down to the Exumas now, as I go about doing my work down there, because there's a lot of work in the Exumas, it's something that I wish for every island, Shanique. Honestly, the amount of construction and the tourism boom that you see taking place in the Exumas, when I look at the everyday Bahamian that look like me and you, that's me and your cousin and auntie and uncle.
They're doing very well, yes.
I talking about, man, Shanique, I went
and they are
visited.
so excited, because I too have seen, and Alan Smith, I've heard a lot about what he's doing. In fact,
Alan Marine, yes.
We were discussing him in the
phenomenal work.
newsroom, in the newsroom recently. I mean, so many others are anticipating. They are working, they are very industrious, hardworking, visionary men and women there. But they also anticipate and are looking forward to Rosewood and what that addition and sort of new kid on the block will mean for all of them.
Shanique, there's another gentleman on Staniel Key who I'm in contact with, who's developing an LP gas plant. On Staniel Key currently right now, if you want cooking gas, you have to put your tank on the mailboat and send that to your cousin in Nassau to pick it up from the mailboat for you to carry to the gas company, and then someone got carried back to the boat, and then someone got to retrieve it. But with a project like a Rosewood or any others that can become clients to these people, it helps them to sustain their businesses in those surrounding communities, to provide essential services like LP gas and other services that are needed, versus these projects where persons seem to want to have the monopoly on the services in the area. And so I want to encourage our residents to remain hopeful and faithful. Persons like Mr. Allen and the Lorenz and others.
I mean, but I know they would say to you they've been patient. They've been waiting, because they 100% went behind this project to support it. And people like Alan Smith and so many others who themselves have pumped huge amounts of money into the areas like Black Point to develop it, provide employment, obviously to bring a unique experience to the tourism industry of Black Point and the Exumas. They are further
Shanique, I'll tell you, I'm headed to Black Point either this weekend or next week, and I'm excited about the opportunities that are available to the everyday Bahamian down in a community like Black Point and the surrounding keys, that we can take advantage of this tourism product that we have here, really from an ownership standpoint, versus just saying, oh, jobs.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited, and I look forward to Bahamians being able to...
We're going to continue, as I always say, there are areas like Grand Bahama and what's happening there that this show has committed to continue following and seeing how it develops, and because we're cheering on. Listen, when one area succeeds, we all succeed. And so that's certainly this is what this show is a proponent of, and will continue to do so.
Shanique,
Mandel,
if I may,
thank you, yes.
There's some people in the Knolls in Savannah, Georgia that I ran into that said they religiously watch your show.
Hello,
and so
Knowles
I wanted
family.
to shout them out this evening. They're in Savannah. So if you know the Knowles is in Savannah, Georgia, call them and tell them Mandel and Shanique pay tribute to them and shout them
Hello,
out. Thank
Knowles
you for
family.
watching.
Thank you for watching, and all of you watching wherever you watch.
I heard
tell
you have a
Mandel,
worldwide audience.
Absolutely, Mandel. So many people watch
Italy?
wherever they are. I tell you, Europe as well, yeah. UK, all of it, you know, and of course the US. Thank you all. And of course, Bahamians, wherever you are, Grand Bahama, here in Nassau, Eleuthera, everywhere, wherever you are. Thank you for watching. Even y'all in Ocean Key tonight, thanks for watching. Thank you so much in Bimini. Thank you so much, Mandel. I thank you. I thank, of course, at the top of tonight's show, Adrian Francis and Ray Knowles. Thank you both. Of course, at the middle of the show, the Hot Topics panel, Peggy and Gabrielle. Thank you, ladies, as well. And Mandel, once again, thank you.
You could pick, choose, and
Call sales
refuse
and marketing.
any restaurant, hotel
Call
where you
sales
want to
and
stay and have
marketing.
the show from. They say they're just waiting on you.
Call sales and marketing. Meanwhile, for the entire Beyond the Headlines team, I'm Shanique Miller. Have a great evening, everyone.